apex, we have the vertex, and just try to understand all these terminologies. They are important terminologies that you need for your design. They are important terminologies that you need for your design. Then we are going to move into colors. The terminologies in colors. Terminologies in colors. The terminologies in colors. Okay. Let's talk on no we talk. So I'm going to be talking on the first terminology, which is the color wheel. Those initial ones I screwed up, they are not terminologies, they are default names in which at least every human being ought to understand. When we are talking about the color wheels, is just like a periodic table. I would say in my own understanding that the color wheels are like periodic table. The issue of these tools goes way back to 17th century, and is essential for artistic and designers to know. You need to understand that these color wheels, they are closely related so as to make meaningful colors, so as to choose meaningful colors. There's a way in which you are going to choose the opposite color wheels that in this sense they will match each other. If you are looking at choosing the straight vertical color wheels, the upside and the downside must match each other. They designed and they created these color wheels specifically, and they created it systematically so as to serve the purpose. And when you see anywhere they are talking about color wheels, this is a terminology just to represent the color wheels. Then we have the primary colors, which we know, which is red, blue, and yellow. We have the secondary colors, and these secondary colors, they are combinations of two or more primary colors. These secondary colors, they are combinations of two primary colors. We have the tertiary. The primary colors are combinations of two primary colors. The tertiary colors, they are combinations of maybe in a way a primary color and a secondary colors. And this is where we get to understand how the color wheels are created and how they are systematically formed. Notice that these colors are systematically formed in a way that they are not intersecting each other. Then let us talk about the color terminology that is created here. We have the tint, we have the hue, and the hue in general, color is used to refer to all well colors, including every kind of color. Is used to define, or is used to say this, or to generally term colors. So if we are talking about the hue, it means that talking about most of, in general, the colors. Then we are talking about the tint. This tint means that I said we are putting something on a dark background, we are putting anything on a dark background, it must be lighter. So this tint shows us that even though we have a dark purple in the color wheels, the dark purple, after fading for some time, it can still give us a lighter and a more brighter purple. So the tint is the lighter version of a given hue. So the hue is that general color. Let's say green, for example. The tint is the lightest form of the hue. Then we are also going to learn the shades. This shade is the opposite of the tint, because in a way this shade is going back from the lightest form of color to the darkest form. So if we see the lightest form of green, we can determine and decide how the darkest form of green will be like by adding those colors together, adding the same colors together, or adding it with a dark color so as to bring out the darkest version of it. Then the tone is very similar, because this tone deals more of white and black form the hierarchy in which something is increasing from the faded white to the darker version of it. Then we are going to also be studying about the warm various school. The warm various school, as I said earlier, if they talk about the warm colors are colors that they bring life. They are colors that they are vibrant. They are colors that they are living colors. And also we are going to be learning when they say RGB and CMYK. So we notice that we have the cyan, we have the magenta, we have the yellow, we have the black. So this cyan, magenta, yellow, black is the type of the subtractive color. The cyan, magenta, yellow and black is what mostly they use as the combination of primary colors. And the RGB, the primary colors are the RGB, while the cyan are the cyan, magenta, yellow, they are the extraction of the primary colors. And then just for us to know, so that next time if we see anything like cyan, magenta, if we see anything like RGB, if we see anything like RGB, we see anything like CYMK, you understand that these designs, they are for cyan, magenta, and they are also for cyan, magenta, they are for black and all. There is also RGB, which is for red, green and blue. So as to get familiar with these terminologies, it's very important that we learn the hexadecimal color code. The hexadecimal color code, they are the 6-digit color code. For every color to be produced, there is the addition of alphabets and numbers to bring out that specific color code. So let's say they give you a color in which you are going to use for a design by a company, and what they give you, they present it to you in an hexadecimal color code. What you need to do is just you need to copy the color code, look for it maybe on the Google. You can look for it on your color palette using your softwares or your design softwares, and after looking for it, you can get that exact color in which they are talking about. This is just a alphabetic and alphanumeric representation of your colors. In any way you cannot be able to get the specific colors, there's still an option in which you can use to get, which is called the hexadecimal color code. This color code will give you the exact color in which you need. So this will be a brief rounding up of what we have been doing so far. This will be a brief rounding up of what we have been doing so far. So far today we were able to learn about the principles of designs, and so far today we were able to learn about the easy and the most simple terminologies we need to understand about designs. However, I will be adding few terminologies we need to know about designs in the end of this video. I'll be saying them, but just to make a quick recap, we understood in this lesson that we have the principles of designs are divided into, there are more, but these are the basic and important type of principle, which is the 6 type of principle. We have the unity, we have the scale and proportion, we have the balance, we have the hierarchy, we have the hierarchy, we have the scale and proportion, similarities and contrast, and we have the dominance. And if you understand these things work together. For a design to be great, it needs to be united. For a design to be great, there's a particular color that needs to be dominating each other. For a design to be great, there needs to be balance, either symmetric or asymmetric. For a design to be great, there needs to be similarity and contrast. There is not just be like everything will be dark. Even if most of the things are dark, important things that need to be revealed must be placed on a dark background and a white overlay. So you must be placing a white text or a white shape or a white image on something that is dark, so as to bring out the proper and best presentation. So this is about the principles of design, and the easy terminologies in which we learned is that the terminologies we learned about designs, we learned the typography forms of terminologies, which is the sans serif. We learned about slab sans serif. We learned about the serif font, and we know that these ones have the included. We have the scripting, we have also black letters, we have the handwriting font, we have other types of fonts. We learned about leading, and we learned that leading is this is the font, this is the first font, then the end of this first font and the end of this my last font is called the distance between the end of this first font and the end of this last font is called the leading. So if to say I want to bring them in, if I want to distance them, there's a way in which I will do it. That okay, I'll be working on the leading, I'll be working on how to increase the leading. They say increase the leading, it means that increase the baseline in the distance from the end of the first font to the end of the last font. Then we also learned about the line spacing. We learned about how we can bring justification, how we can do the central justification, how we can learn about the left justification. Just so you know, let me briefly talk about the justification of a font. So you have the full justification. It means that every font must be stopping here and be ending, must start here and stop here. Only fonts that are not more than the middle, the central line, will not stop here. Fonts that are up to the central line must start here and stop here. That's the full font justification. But left justification deals more on every font must end here. Even if they don't stop here, they need to, even if they don't meet this wall, every font must be justified to this left. In the right one, every font must be justified to this right. In the center one, every font must be justified to the center. And because of this, you can decide the the length of this spacing, the line spacings. When we have the tracking, and we also have the other x height, cap height. We have the x height, cap height. We have uppercase. We are talking about uppercase and lowercase. Uppercase means the capital letters, while lowercase means the shorter letters. They have the ascender, which the ascender can be attributed. The ascender and the sender can be attributed to the lowercase, because these ones are the ones that have extreme, or they have other strokes on top. For a capital letters, they don't have stroke. They are always balanced on top and balanced in the down. So for capital letters, it doesn't need to do with any ascender or descender. The small letters need to do more of ascender and descender. We have the close counter, open counters. We have other bars, strike bars. We have the airlines. We have bow's leg. We have the terminus. You can go over the course so as to learn more about how these things are. We have the title, we have the stem, we have the body, and also we are going to move into the color. So color, we have the terminologies in color. These terminologies in color deals more of the hue. We have the tints. We have the color wheels, primary colors, RBG, and so other. And most importantly, we have the color, the hexadecimal color code. So this will lead to the end of today's course, and I'm happy that you're able to join this course from the